So, like I said in the intro, this painting is actually a gift. So, my partner's 30th birthday is coming up, and I'm actually throwing him a Lord of the Rings theme party. And yes, it will be fancy dress. And yes, we're very excited. It should be fun. We've got family and friends coming. So I thought, as a gift, I've already bought him some gifts, but I thought I'd also paint him a picture of Arwen. This particular photo is from a final scene in the film. And it's just a really nice shot. I've always liked it. I actually saw a YouTuber who does oil painting paint this picture. And it was just really beautiful. And I thought, I really want to recreate that as well. I can't remember the specific name of the YouTuber, but I'll link it below so you can check that video out as well, because it is really good. And I found it really helpful. So this is my second portrait in oil painting. And I really think from my first oil painting, the video is on my YouTube channel if you want to check it out. But even from just doing this a second time, how I paint the skin has really improved. I was really happy with the other picture, but in comparison, the blend on the skin is a lot more patchy and not as even. And I'm really happy with the nice flow of the skin on this one. I think it just turned out really good. So I'm really happy. Just shows that practice makes perfect. I'm slowly getting the hang of oil paintings. The one thing that I find really difficult with oil paintings is just the drying time. Especially when you've painted the picture, if you need to add fine details, it's really difficult because when you can't touch the canvas, I like to lean on the canvas. I don't know how people paint stood up with just their brush in the air and they don't lean on anything. I find it really difficult. I have to have something to lean on. And sometimes I need to be so close when painting details that I need to lean against the canvas itself. But with oil paint, you can't, because as soon as you do that, it's just going to take the paint up. So I find that really difficult. If anyone has any tips on how to combat that, that would be great. So everything was turning out great. I kind of went simple on the clothing, just because I find when I add too much detail, that's when it starts looking a bit rubbish and not. It sounds counterproductive, but when I add too much detail, it looks less realistic. Just because the more detail you add, the more realistic it has to be. Where if you just add shapes, kind of simulating the detail, when you look at it, your eye puts the pieces together and it's like, oh yeah, that's that shape, that's what that is. But if you start going too heavy realistic, specifically for me, it just starts looking more and more unrealistic. Hopefully that made sense. I don't know if anyone else feels that way, but I really feel like since I've started seeing shapes in pictures, my painting technique is gradually improved. Because like I say, I used to try and paint each specific little detail as it was to a picture in the photo, and it would just look strange. It just didn't look right. But I've started painting in a technique of painting the shapes that I see, specifically with shadows. I block in the shapes of the pictures, and so it kind of creates an overall image rather than little details, and it kind of helps it make it look more realistic, in my opinion. And I particularly feel like it helped with this painting in particular, specifically when painting the skin. If you block in the highlight shapes and the shadow shapes, it really helps just create an overall image. So that was really good. The one thing that I did struggle with, I think that picture overall turned out great, but I really struggled with painting the headdress. And again, I think it's because I was trying to add too much detail in each individual brushstroke, and it just ends up looking like it's plonked on top of her head, which I'm not a fan of. I may come back to it at some point and try maybe a glazing technique to kind of make bits a bit darker so it's not as stand out brightish against everything. I just really struggled with it. I feel like the picture turned out really great. The one thing that I don't particularly like is the headdress, but it's such an important part of the image that I couldn't not include it, because it's like elven jewellery. So that was the only criticism of it. You'll see me painting the headdress at the end. Hopefully you'll be able to see what I mean. But yeah, I'm really enjoying using oil paints. The thing with oil paints is, like I say, they take so long to dry. And I'm quite a quick painter. When I do a painting, I like to finish it in a day. I normally spend maybe a couple of hours, but with this one, I had to come back to it because when I was painting the headdress, I was painting on top of the hair, which I'd already painted. So when I was adding the white on top, it was just smearing the paint and it was making the white go brown, and it just wasn't working. It was just all mushing together and going all muddy. So I came back a couple of days later to do the headdress and it did work. But again, the canvas was still a bit tacky, so I still couldn't even lean against the canvas itself. So that's annoying, but that's just what oil paints are. Like, if there's a way that you can like speed up the drying time, let me know. I currently use linseed oil as my mixing medium. Maybe there's something I can use better that will dry a bit quicker. And I also use the Jackson's oils paints, and I really like these oil paints. I don't know, I've not got anything to compare them to, but they do work really well for me. I really enjoy them. Let me know if you have any favourite brands that are just amazing, and maybe I'll be like amazed when I try different brands because the leap is so impressive. But like I say, these paints do work really well. They blend really well. I buy lots of opaque colours, so they're nice and opaque on the page. I really like them. They turn out quite nice. So yeah, that's my thoughts. I hope you're enjoying the painting. I'll just let you enjoy the rest of the video, and then I'll catch us up at the end of the video. guys, so this is the painting all finished. I'm really happy with how it turned out. Let me just move this. So this is the reference photo, and then this is my painting against it. So yeah, I think it turned out quite good, quite realistic. The headdress was really difficult to paint. It's probably the one bit that isn't my favourite. It's a shame it's such a big part of the picture, but it looks good enough to where I'm happy with it. Let me know what you guys think of the painting and the finished result. I really like the blending that I managed to get on the skin. I think it turned out quite pretty, quite nice. So yeah, overall, very happy. I hope that the person that I'm gifting it to likes it. So yeah, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll catch everyone in the next video.